Good afternoon, WHCA, and welcome to another episode of What's Happening in Whitman-Hanson. Today we're visiting the high school to check out the Theatre Arts Club's production of Legally Blonde. That's not Legally Blonde the movie, that is the musical adaptation of the movie Legally Blonde. So let's head inside, check out what they're doing in rehearsal, get the inside scoop. Let's go.
My, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. My, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
So everybody sing out with lots of energy and diction. Be your character. Yeah, just as if this were a performance.
My name is Brooke Scriven. I'm a senior here at Whitman-Hanson and I play Elle in Legally Blonde musical. I've done musical theater since I was like 8 years old.
Hi, I'm Cameron Lacey. I'm a freshman and I am Emmett Forrest in Legally Blonde. My favorite part in the show is when I first come on and meet the main character Elle, because that's always a fun scene to do, and I think it's a fun scene to watch too. It has a lot of laughs and fun.
I'm Derek Olson. I'm a junior here at Whitman-Hanson Regional High School, and I play Warner Huntington III in Legally Blonde. I've been doing musical theater for about 13 years now, and yeah, I've always wanted to stick around the theater arts, and when I heard that we have a drama club here, I obviously had to join it.
My favorite part about the club is I get to interact with students that I don't normally get to see in school, and it's just awesome to meet the kids, and like now I have like more people to say hi to in the hallways, and it just creates such a positive atmosphere. Everyone's
just so together, and you have so much fun while you're in there. You just feel like a club, and you just feel together.
I'm Ryan Labonte. I'm a senior here at Whitman-Hanson, and I'm going to be Winthrop, the Harvard admission officer. I want to act, I want to be out there, and I want to go into a field of communications, and I thought that this would be a good way of getting to it.
So I'm Anthony Labonte. I know my brother might have said the last name differently, but I am a senior, and my character in the show is Professor Callahan, the Harvard professor. What made me want to join the club is kind of in a way to open myself up more to people. Now, I've always liked acting a little bit more. Granted, I don't go to any, I know some of the people go to the schools and stuff for acting, but I like just being out there and doing something for the school while also getting myself out there is kind of why I chose to do the show.
All of us guys know what they're going to say, so when we just go to each other and we're like, what does the B in your name stand for anyways? Brendan. And I don't know, that's just that's very funny to me.
I would say probably some of my favorite moments are when myself, Cameron, my brother Ryan, and then Derek, who I believe you also interviewed, we all just kind of goof around while the actual Delta News or the girls are doing the actual performances on stage.
Hi, I'm Andrew Mortarelli. I'm a student teacher at Whitman-Hanson right now, just assisting with the program, helping out with some technical stuff behind the scenes and watching the kids have fun. When I was in high school, I was a big theater kid. I loved doing plays and musicals, and my sophomore year at high school, we did Legally Blonde. And so when I found out these guys were doing it, I actively want to get involved and start learning how to direct plays for theatrical productions going forward, and I just couldn't resist this opportunity. The kids blow me away every week. They always their voices are unrivaled. They really care about it, and it's just nice to see kids having fun doing something like this.
It's just been so fun to work with everybody, and I hope people come see our show.
Come see Legally Blonde this April. It's going to be a real good show.
Come to Legally Blonde April 27th.
Just come to the show April 27th. Cheer on your fellow classmates.
I know it's for the WHCA. If you saw me when I did the football broadcast, thanks for sticking with me. It's glad to see you guys come back and supporting. I just want to say hope to see you at the show.
Come see Legally Blonde.
Wait a sec. This is
girl Warner wants. Someone serious. Someone lawyerly. Someone who wears black even when nobody's dead. Girls, I have a completely brilliant plan.
So we've made our way into the rehearsal space for the show, that is the Whitman-Hanson Band Room, and I'm being joined by Brooke Scriven. How you doing, Brooke?
I'm great, how are you?
So tell the people about what you do.
I'm the director here at Whitman-Hanson for the Theatre Arts program, and we're about to produce our spring musical, Legally Blonde.
Of course, and we just had a talk with some of the cast members. We had a talk with Andrew, the student teacher, and they had just all great things to say. So it's great to get your perspective on things. How's it been going so far?
It's been a wonderful experience, a slow start. We are trying to grow the program here and expose more students and some of the other clubs and faculty to the process of being in a musical or joining the arts program. And it's been slow, but we are making progress.
Awesome, and it's an honor for me to be back and being able to do a show about you guys, because something you might not know about me is that I was a member of the drama club when I was in high school back in like 2016, 2018. Like I was in Seussical, I was in Almost Maine, Mary Poppins. So really it's an honor for me to be able to come back and show my support.
And it shows you what an experience it is, because obviously it means a lot to the students who are able to participate.
Yeah, it's how I got my start in like performing and in theater. What made you choose Legally Blonde specifically?
Actually, we had a vote. We asked the kids to pick a few shows. We tried to pick 3 shows that were different styles, different vibes. We had Seussical on the list, Legally Blonde, and Into the Woods. And we put it open to the whole school to vote, and Legally Blonde won.
Nice, nice. So are there any like particular shows that you would kind of gravitate towards? Like speaking in terms of like genre of show, like is there anything particularly you would lean more towards in terms of like doing a high school show?
There can be lots of different reasons why you pick different shows. This one seemed to be a great choice to try to grab people who may not otherwise look to go to a show, because it is sort of a pop culture type show and a popular movie. A lot of times I may have an idea for a particular show, but when you get together and see the cast that you have, and every group has a particular vibe. They may be a strong dance group or not, and you may adjust what type of show you do according to the talent you have.
For sure, and I mean, in terms of getting people's attention, I feel like the high energy musicals sort of get the most attraction, and especially something based off of a movie, like Legally Blonde, of course, like anything Disney is kind of a done deal.
And today, for people to really stay true to who they are and to follow their passions is such a great message to send.
Of course. So I feel like a lot of people don't know about the process of selecting a show and producing it, because you can't exactly just like, oh, I'm going to do this show and then run with it. Like there's a process to licensing, and there's a process to getting the rights. Could you talk a little bit about what those steps are?
Sure. Once you decide what show or a couple of shows you may be deciding to do, you do have to check and make sure it's available for licensing, because there can be numerous reasons of why, for some reason, they take shows off the shelf to be licensed, or if another school close by happened to be doing the same show in that weekend, I believe you may be turned down to get your license. So you always have to make sure, for one, that it's possible. And once you get the contract, then it's up to you to make the choice of which show you want to move forward with.
All right.
Excuse me, have you seen this? It just came in. It's perfect for a blonde. Right, with the half loop stitch on China silk. But the thing is, you can't use a half loop stitch on China silk. It'll pucker. And you didn't just get this in because I saw it in last May's Vogue.
What's it been like working with this group of student actors?
Amazing. They are, my vocal director calls them small but mighty, and they certainly are. So I hope if you get the chance, you can come see them. They are such a wonderful, bright, amazing group of students. I really, really enjoy working with them. I'm going to miss a lot of them when they go.
Yeah, and just the few that I talked to, like they seem so enthusiastic about doing the show, so like energetic about it. So it's great to see them out here performing. What does your casting process look like? As you know, there's a professional way of casting, and there's an educational way of casting, I think, because you know it's a difference between doing a show to, you know, turn a profit for everybody versus doing it in an educational environment. Is there a difference in the way you approach it?
I guess I sort of probably I use all the different rules to try to decide. For one, you never want to make your audience uncomfortable. You always want to have your actors in a safe and encouraging environment so that they feel safe to try new things. And also, especially, I feel like I would probably do this anyway, but especially in an educational environment, you definitely consider the total student and what the experience they're going to get from this. And that's just it's great to watch, it's great to experience, and it's great to see the kids pull together.
Of course. So you're fairly new to the Whitman-Hanson Theatre program, correct? Mm-hmm. When did you start?
We started actually right before COVID. That was our first year, so we had a lot of surprises, and we're actually shut down. We were supposed to do Bring It On, the musical, and it was shut down.
I remember hearing about that, yeah.
It would have been fabulous. We had a great experience with the kids, and then unfortunately, like the rest of the world with COVID, we were shut down. We did not continue through COVID. We did have some Zoom meetings and groups together just to sort of reconnect together and meet, but we did not perform the show.
Yeah. It seems like the arts were sort of disproportionately affected by COVID, especially theater, when you're around the same group of people for, you know, several days a week for several hours at a time. It's sort of been slower to return to the norm, I think.
Mm-hmm. And also with the element of singing with musical theater, that seemed to be unfortunately one of the ways to spread COVID.
Yeah, and singing with masks too. I had to do it a couple times. It's just it's way hard. Like I found myself so like strained and out of breath in a way that I wasn't before, because you have to try so much harder to get your voice out.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you said you guys were able to stay active during like Zoom meetings, just to like keep in touch with anybody. Were you able to keep the program going in any way?
Just to have little meetings and get together, and we did have some Zoom club meetings where we were able to have some Broadway stars that were also looking to reach out. They would provide a class, and the kids could do a talk back, and that seemed to be very therapeutic through COVID.
Were there any like big names in particular that you were able to get?
They are, unfortunately. I'm terrible with names.
Okay. But yeah, so they're like Broadway performers that you were able to get?
Oh yes, yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's really cool. Like you're just in a class with a Broadway, like even if it's over Zoom, but I feel like getting that master class, it would be such an honor. It would be for me. I've never had that opportunity, so that's really cool. You guys,
especially through COVID, we were in their living room with them.
Yeah, exactly.
It was wonderful, actually.
Mm-hmm. And I know because I was in college when the COVID pandemic hit, and our theater program went towards Zoom theater. So we did a few shows like over Zoom, and it was such a weird way, but also like the only thing we really had, you know, in order to like frame it over a computer screen, and it doesn't give you the same experience. No. At least the tickets were like cheap. They were like $5 a person, if even that. I think they were giving out like free tickets because it was so like accessible.
I think at the time we were just happy to be able to do anything.
Exactly.
And thinking back, you never want to do that.
Yeah, it was better than nothing, but I never want to be on a Zoom screen wearing a costume ever again. So outside of the shows, have you guys been able to do any like fundraising events or anything outreach in terms of the high school?
We did have a fundraiser. We showed the movie Legally Blonde
Of course.
up here and had a Walk the Red Carpet fundraiser during a basketball game for kids to come see the show. And we are supposed to be having a raffle for the kids to vote on which faculty member they would like to star in the show. Should be coming up this week, I believe.
So is a faculty member actually going to be in the show, or is it just like a
Yes.
poll? Oh, really?
Yes, they will play some of the small featured fun
Gotcha.
faculty parts.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes.
Have you guys been able to do any other like collaborations with other clubs?
It has been on the list. Mr. DeSantis has been wonderful. He runs the DECA program. We have not actually had the time to work with the club itself, but I do see that happening hopefully in the future.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about some of the other shows that you've been able to direct here.
We did Shrek last year, and that was fantastic. That was a blast. We've done some musical reviews as fundraisers in the fall. Shrek was the first full-scale musical we did last spring.
Nice.
And now we'll follow up with Legally Blonde.
All right, sounds good. You guys are doing a great job, like picking up the pieces, bringing the program back together, and I'm so excited to see what you guys do.
Thank you. Yes, it's nice to see the arts are very much alive and thriving here, although it may not get the exposure that it should, and we hope that that continues to grow. It is here, and it's wonderful.
So Harvard Law grants acceptance to Adam Cohen in Sandeep Padamada. Outstanding. And now Miss L. Woods was kind enough to send in a headshot.
It says here she has a 4.0 average.
Yeah, in fashion merchandising.
And she got a 175 on her LSATs.
Do you think you'd be able to speak a little bit about the importance of arts in like any school program? Because I feel like whenever like school budgets and school programs are getting talked about being renegotiated, the arts seem to be the first one that are always on the chopping block.
It's so sad.
And I definitely experienced that when I was going here. So would you be able to say a piece about, you know, how important it is for the students to have the arts like this, even as just like an extracurricular?
Mm-hmm. I don't think that there is anything more important. I just believe theater is a special umbrella that so many things can fit under. It's such an inclusive program. It just, in my experience through life, it's always been such a wonderful group of people that come together. For some reason, musical theater people, or theater people in general, I feel, are just very open, very giving people. And when you can create a space where I believe kids feel safe and encouraged to step out of their comfort zone and explore the arts, or whether it's just exploring parts of themselves that they find they're able to express themselves or share their gifts, I do not think that there is anything more important than that in education.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So thank you for joining us on the program today. It's been an absolute honor. It's been a pleasure. Where can people get tickets to see the show?
There is a link available on the school website, and hopefully we'll be sharing some of the flyers on Facebook, and the school will also be sending some emails around, I believe.
All right, awesome. And if any new students see this and they might want to join the club, how could they do that?
Please join the Google Classroom, and we'll be here all school vacation week working on the sets, and then Tech Week begins the week after April vacation.
All right, and people can join as potential actors for the next show. They can join as crew members, is that true?
Absolutely. There's usually room for everyone in theater. We have one student coming just to run the curtain, and there's always running the house, selling tickets, the lighting, sound, costumes, prop manager. There's so many ways to be involved.
Yeah, and like of course all like the crew people, the cast, the management people, like it's all equally as important to keep the show going.
Absolutely. It's one of the beauties of theater. It takes a whole team nobody's more important than anybody else, and that's a great feeling for the students as well, to be part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, doing tech is just as, if sometimes maybe not even more fun than being in the cast. So definitely don't count yourself out if you want to join the crew.
It's a whole other show backstage for the tech and backstage crew.
But so yeah, thank you for joining us on today's episode of What's Happening in Whitman-Hanson, and I'm excited to see the show.
Thank you so much. It's been great to meet you.